Hi, welcome to KatsCountry. Today we're going to do a beginner painting. We're going to paint some oranges in watercolor. So let's paint. Okay, I have one 40-pound watercolor and I've got my watercolor palette. Most of my paints are Windsor and Newton. I'm using mostly the oranges and yellows in this painting. I'm using cad orange and cad yellow a lot. I'll also mix in some Indian yellow and a little bit raw sienna here and there. And I probably will put some Naples yellow and cad yellow also. I'm going to start by just doing the circle. And the rind is usually the darkest on the outside. And then there's like a white area inside. And then you get the little triangles of different color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one orange and then a slice. Which is weird because I haven't sliced the orange, so there's another part of orange somewhere around there. But I'm just making it the orange. I'm put it a little darker up top. And this is going to be where the slice is. And I'm using just a round brush. And I actually just use the round brush the whole time. And what I'm doing, I'm wetting my brush. I'm dabbing it on my paper towel. Right there, I dropped a little bit of water, so I had to clean it up. I dab it on my paper towel and then I get some color on it. My palette is dry, and so when I mix water to it, it just brings a little bit of the pigment out. And that's the Indian yellow. It's not quite as orange as the other one. I'm trying to make it not quite so. And then I'm wanting to put a little bit of dark at the bottom here. So I'm constantly wetting my brush, dabbing it on my paper towel, wet my brush, dabbing on paper towel, and then I leave a little bit of water so it gets the pigment wet on the palette. And if you get too much, you can clean your brush completely and then just wipe it up. Here's the triangles. I don't know if an orange has a certain amount of triangles, so do whatever you want. The center is going to be kind of white, so I'm not going quite all the way in. And this is going to be the edge. I'm going to do one triangle at a time. And there's a technique where you can actually paint on wet. You know, you wet the palette first and then do it, and that allows it to bleed. But I'm painting dry, and I'm just tickling that edge. And I'm doing one triangle at a time. And it's going to be darker at the end, so I'm putting a little darker at the outside there. And you can start light and go back and darken. It's easier to darken than to lighten something up, especially on watercolor. A lot of times one area will bleed into the other, so sometimes it's better to kind of jump when you paint from one section to the other. So yeah, wet my brush, dab it on my paper towel, and then I come back for paint. Then I dropped a little bit. See, like if you drop it, you can kind of just wipe it off real quick. Sometimes I'll even use my my fingers or a paper towel. And I'm trying to darken that outside edge of that orange. The outside of the triangle. And if you end up with a line, tickle the edge. And I'm kind of making it rough because you don't want a strict line there. Maybe on the outside of the triangle, but not on the inside. You want it to kind of lighten. And I'm bringing in more color. And where the orange is behind the other orange, it's going to be darker. So where the slice is in front of the orange, you want there to be like a little edge, a little darker area on the large orange. I guess it is sliced. Sliced a different way, I guess, is what I meant. And I'm adding color and then just tickling the edge. Try to get it to blend over. And that very outer rim should be a little darker, so I'm going back and darken that a little bit. We'll anchor it a little while. We'll do the bottom, what it's sitting on. I'm putting a little raw sienna in it, and especially underneath to kind of darken it. And a little raw umber too. I just want it a little bit more darker there. I want to darken my outer rim a little bit more. A lot of times when you're painting, you want to start out light, especially in watercolor, and darken as you go. I add a touch of red just because I want it a little darker. And that was Cad Red medium. See, if you drip, you can wipe it with your paper towel. That was a little Grumbacher red. I just want to darken it in certain spots. You don't want to darken every spot, but you know, here and there. I want it going from very dark to light, and then I want it dark again where the inside is, the outside of the triangles. There's a little Naples yellow I'm putting in because I want it to be a little lighter going towards the center. want it to be more natural color, so I'm adding the little Naples. Now let's darken the inside of the triangle. The very center is going to be white, but it's going to have a little color in it. But let's work on the triangles first, and then we'll do the center later. I keep trying to decide what color I want. I don't want to add just red, so I'm going to mix a little bit of red and a little bit of orange right here just to make it a little darker. Now that's Indian red. I just want a couple little areas, a little orange with it. And you want to just have a distinction between the triangles. So you can darken between the triangles. It's beginning to look like we could eat it. And step back and look at it and decide what you need. I just want to put some color on the bottom. I hate when they're just floating in midair. So I'm just anchoring it. So I'm taking a little bit of, let's see, what color was that? Some burnt umber, a little bit of water, and I'm just putting it on the bottom. A little yellow ochre too. Yellow ochre as we go out. Burnt umber underneath. Kind of a mixture of both. But you want some type of shadow in there. And I think this watercolor brush may have came from Hobby Lobby, one of their sales. The thing is, you want a nice point, and use a watercolor brush, something that hold water. Just want it a little dark there. Make sure you leave your white. You want to make sure you leave some white. Let's do the center. We'll have some color, but I want to make sure we leave some of the white in there. And like when you paint the rim, you want to make sure you stick to that edge, because you want that little white showing through. It's like a highlight. In acrylic, you put the highlight on last. Here you put it, you have to kind of leave it. I mean, you have white watercolor, but it doesn't really act like that. We're almost done. But what you can do is you can kind of step back, look at the watercolor, see what you need, and you can always come back to it tomorrow. I like to put my paintings on my mantle, and I'll walk by and I say, oh, I really need this, or I really need that. So sometimes that helps. And you want to put your name on it. And we can do that in the bottom right corner. You can sign it on the back with a micron pen if you want. A lot of people do. Thank you for joining me today, and please subscribe and like my videos. I'll see you next time.